Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The Doctor of Discernment is now online.
You know, much like my show, in that it's a local reaction to things that are happening on a federal level.
Dispensing a daily dose of common sense. No prescription required.
Wow, do I have a boatload of stuff for you, from the crazy to the absurd. Let's start getting into it because, I mean, it is bizarro world out there. And I say, if it's obvious to me, should be obvious to everyone. Oh, wow. Who could have seen this coming?
This is the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage.
Hold on to your butts.
Broadcasting from my basement bunker beneath Kettle Radio. Welcome to the Fourth Hour. It's great to have you along this morning. And forgive me, I was a little bit late. As I'm trying to throw this together, I start getting wrapped up in the news and I'm fighting the clock anyway. I start losing track of time. Let's start with the president's True Social account. We'll work our way through some of what he is saying here this morning. Lower the rate, too late. We'll work our way backwards here. If there was a smoking gun on Epstein, why didn't the Dems, who controlled the files for 4 years, had Garland and Comey in charge, why didn't they use it? Because they had nothing, Trump said. And this is what's making news this morning. I absolutely love it. Stephen Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings. I hear Jimmy Kimmel is next. He has even less talent than Colbert. Greg Gutfeld is better than all of them combined, including the moron on NBC who ruined, talking about Jimmy Fallon, ruined the once great Tonight Show. Yeah, late night TV is just terrible. We talked about that a little bit this morning with, and we'll get into a little bit more that whole thing. Anyway, the president also responding. I look forward, and this is a piece the Wall Street Journal did, and I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this because this really is one of the stories of the day that I want to make sure that you hear. The president saying this morning, just about an hour ago, I look forward to getting Rupert Murdoch to testify in my lawsuit against him and his pile of garbage newspaper, the Wall Street Journal. That will be an interesting experience. And also the signing of that $9 billion bill. This is the Doge bill. That will be coming up 1:30 today. And the president congratulating Republicans. He said, for being able to accomplish so much, a record in so short a period of time, all the Democrats do is complain and criticize and get nothing done. They are a party of the past. I want to see if he's posted anything new here. Nope. So the bill signing coming up today, 1:30 at the White House. Well, we are talking about the Jeffrey Epstein story. Town Hall's got a piece. Why the left will be the only ones melting down over the story. And they get into it. There was a lot of Republicans are seeing this, and in fact, what you're seeing now is support solidifying behind the president over this. Because I think you've got more folks who are recognizing the media is doing what the media always does. You know, they are distorting, they're trashing the president. Here you go. This was a piece on Elon Musk. Even MSNBC realizing the Wall Street Journal article is complete and utter BS. They were shocked when they learned that even Elon Musk not believing it. Megyn Kelly and a number of others, they're just conservative influencers. Not Elon Musk isn't, but Megyn Kelly certainly is a conservative influencer, and she is saying it's total bunk. And so they're on MSNBC talking about this. I'm not going to play the clip. I was watching it earlier this morning. The reaction to this has just been pretty overwhelming. So let's go to Chris Cuomo and his show. Chris Cuomo, of course, a former host at CNN, and this is what Chris Cuomo had to say about this latest wrinkle today, the Wall Street Journal piece about Trump sending Epstein a birthday card, and he wrote he drew a picture of a naked woman on it, and Trump is saying the whole thing is phony. And here you've got even liberal Chris Cuomo, who is not buying the Wall Street Journal article at all. Hold on, here we go.
And he's suing the Journal. He's suing everybody. He says he didn't write the birthday letter that they're ascribing to him, to Epstein for his 50th birthday. I mean, it's so stupid, okay? Yeah. The Epstein story is about abusing kids who didn't have the power or agency to do anything about it.
Right.
That rich and powerful people may have known it was going on, and they got away with it. That's the story, okay? It's not that
Trump sending
Trump
a birthday card.
Liked a scumbag, okay? Now, I get that in the media, this is great because it's bad for Trump and he's going crazy and he's going to pump and move the story for the Wall Street Journal right now by saying it's fake and it's wrong. But it doesn't move the needle in the country. It's going to make you some money, Rupert. Great for you, just what you need. But this is why we can't get anywhere. The guy says, I didn't write the letter. The letter is meaningless. You put out the piece anyway, and there's no light on what really matters.
He's making a good point. It's I've got to say, it's not often that I agree with Chris Cuomo. This is one of those times. It's absolutely incredible. Carolyn Levitt talking about it. The Wall Street Journal publishing a hatchet job article with a fake birthday letter from 2003, supposedly. This is like the Steele dossier that kickstarted the Russia hoax all over again. The Wall Street Journal refused to show us the letter. Let's see that entire post. I think we've got to look at the entire post. They didn't even have it in their possession when we asked them to verify the document that they're basing their entire story on. When has President Trump ever spoken like the conversation alleged in the fake Wall Street Journal story? That's not at all how he speaks or writes. The Wall Street Journal knowingly published false information to smear the president of the United States. And so the president is saying he's going to sue the Wall Street Journal. I wouldn't laugh that off if I were the Wall Street Journal. When you look at the success that Donald Trump has had against George Stephanopoulos and ABC, against CBS and 60 Minutes, he has won some considerable judgments, or they have settled with him as a result of these things. And why the media just wants to continue to wallow in some of this stuff, it's just absolutely incredible. We were talking, excuse me, I got it. My beard's getting a bit long. They start getting itchy. We were talking about Stephen Colbert this morning. CBS pulling the plug on Stephen Colbert. They're ending the Late Show. And you got Democrats saying, we've got to know if this is for political reasons. Adam Schiff saying, if Paramount CBS ended the Late Show for political reasons, the public deserves to know and deserves better. Wait, it gets better. It gets better. Have Elizabeth Warren. CBS canceled Colbert's show just 3 days after Colbert called out CBS parent company Paramount for its $16 million settlement with Trump a deal that looks like bribery. America deserves to know if his show was canceled for political reasons. Watch and share his message. And this was him going after, this is in particular the comments that Colbert made. I'm not going to share it all, but here it is.
My parent corporation, Paramount, paid Donald Trump a $16 million settlement over his 60 Minutes lawsuit. As someone who has always been a proud employee of this network, I'm offended. And I don't know if anything will ever repair my trust in this company. But just taking a stab at it, I'd say $16 million would help. This settlement.
And then he just goes on. Typical. I'm not going to miss him. And again, I'm not up at those hours to be able to watch his show, but the whole thing is just like absolutely nuts. Okay, let's get this story is, hold on. I want to follow up. Alan Dershowitz has been out there. He's a constitutional lawyer, former counsel for Jeffrey Epstein. Did you hear him on Clay and Buck yesterday talking about the whole thing? There is no client list. There's no Jeffrey Epstein client list. There's just no such thing. Dershowitz, and you see this here, claiming there is no list. It's become such a big story. So what did Dershowitz saying? It's not the Trump administration that's hiding the Epstein info. It's the judges in Manhattan. We all know about judges in Manhattan. Here is Dershowitz again on the aforementioned Chris Cuomo show.
Is the government hiding a client list or anything that the Trump administration could release tonight?
No, there is no client list. There never has been a client list. A client list suggests that Jeffrey Epstein made a list of people to whom he trafficked women.
Right.
What there is a redacted FBI affidavit from accusers. There are several of them from accusers that accuse.
Okay, I'm going to stop that there because that was what I talked about on the air this morning. The president has told Pam Bondi, okay, let's release all the information. Let's go to the courts and the names that have been redacted, let's see if we can get that removed and we'll release the files. So here you've got Dershowitz, who was one of Jeffrey Epstein's lawyers. I shared a story with you this morning several times during the program. Another former Epstein lawyer talking about this, who was saying that Jeffrey Epstein never had a client list. There is no client list. There's no such thing. And I'm glad to see the president moving toward releasing the files and urging Pam Bondi, and she immediately said on she said on X that she would be taking steps today to be able to do that. So I expect that there will be more information that'll be forthcoming today. We'll see where that goes. But the president, I had a feeling that he was moving in that direction. And I wonder if it's because of some of the meltdowns that have been going on. And there was a piece by Ben Shapiro that I was looking at. And this is the one that I got pretty caught up on. And he's saying that we've got people on social media who are really out of step with what's going on in reality. And social media is driving a lot of this stuff. So you get folks on social media and they get a head full of steam and they're, versus what you see happening in the real world on Main Street. They're not the same. So don't ever, I think, the takeaway for me is I'm not ever going to look at social media as, man, this is what everybody is thinking, and this is what the sentiment is, and this is where things are going. And I talked about that even in the recent polling, CNN and the Quinnipiac polling that I talked about on the radio show this morning, that shows despite all of this uproar over the Jeffrey Epstein files and so on, Trump's numbers are going up. Trump's support is going up to like 88% now, according to CNN's polling. And that it's not, and they were talking to people, they were asking people specifically about it. You know, is this a major issue? And they had one guy, not 1%, one man who said, yeah, for him it was an issue. But it's just not resonating with people overall. And we'll see where it goes. I think the president, now having said that, I mentioned the other day, I thought the president had misstepped. I think working to release the files is the right thing to do, absolute right thing to do, and get the information out there. And I'm hoping that is going to calm some of this. But some of it, I think, is just the hysteria that comes with social media. You have people on social media who say things that I don't think they would say, necessarily if you ask them. I mean, we have a tendency to say things on social media that we wouldn't otherwise say, that we're more careful in our daily lives as to what we're saying. And we get on social media and we act like we left our brain in the closet. Sometimes, some people, I'm saying some people. So we'll see. The president's numbers are going up, this Jeffrey Epstein case. I understand, folks. It's one of the reasons I played the Chris Cuomo clip. Totally agreed with what Cuomo was saying. This is about children and harm to children and powerful people who were abusing children. That's the story. Trump sending a birthday card to Jeffrey Epstein is the biggest, non-starter, certainly of the year. And I think it's just an absolute non-issue. It's a distraction. And you got a lot of people who want to waste their time on that. I'm just not one of them. All right, that's a wrap. We're going to leave it there for today. I want to thank all of you. You made it to the end of the video. You are part of my gallery of champions. Please hit the like button before you leave. If you do that, I'd be really appreciative. Please hit that like button. Special salute to the Bunker Brigade, those who are commenting each and every day who are here. I appreciate all of you. So I want to wish you a great weekend. You take care. I'll see you again Monday. Until then, I'm underground and gone.